Hey guys, I'm Papa Pete, back with another Atari VCS review for you today. And today, I'm going to review the game Human Cannonball. I can remember when I was a kid, I didn't have this game, but I remember it in the catalog, looking at it thinking how neat it looked, along with the other circus games, like Circus Atari, Human Cannonball. I mean, how could you go wrong with something like that, right? Well, let's take a look at it today, and we'll find out. Stick around, guys.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
Alright, here we go. Let's hope he's got it figured out right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off!
This is Andy Leonard at the 1980 Atari Games. Lots of excitement here. The Human Cannonball can't miss. They're ready.
Let the games begin!
No other company offers you as many different video game cartridges as Atari.
Human Cannonball is one of the early games for the Atari VCS, released in 1979 by Atari Inc. themselves. In all the information that I've researched, I couldn't find where any specific programmer is credited with making this game, so maybe it was just a group effort of the ones who worked there, or maybe nobody really wanted to put their name to it. I'm not sure which it is. In Human Cannonball, the object of the game, very simply, is to fire your man out of a cannon and have him land in a water tank on the other side of the screen. Sounds simple enough? It's kind of unusual, really, because I don't think I've ever seen a human cannonball on TV or on the internet or anything like that where they're trying to land in a big water tank. They've always wanted to land in nets. But, whatever. This is how they made it back in the day. The gameplay in Human Cannonball is really very simple. There's only a few different factors you have to take into consideration before firing your cannon, firing your man up and into the water tank. Sound easy enough? Well, you have to take things into account such as the wind, such as the angle of the cannon, the location of the cannon on the field, and then the location of the tank. There's nothing more to the game than that. You fire the man out of the cannon, you land him in the tank. If you get him in 7 times before you miss 7 times, you win. If you miss 7 times before you get him in 7 times, you lose. Let me say this about the graphics in Human Cannonball. They are extremely simple, but at least you can see the items that are there, and it does look like a cannon, it does look like a water tank per se, and it's a little stick figure man going across the screen. That being said, they only use 4 colors. They have green, blue, black, and this pinky orange color that makes up the scoreboard up at the top, as well as just the water tank. It's really kind of ugly, but you can tell what it is. Now, how about the sounds in Human Cannonball? Basically, they're non-existent. There's a bang when you fire your cannon, and the man makes different sounds whether he hits the side of the tank, whether he goes in the tank, and when he splats on the ground. That's it. There's no other sounds in Human Cannonball. No music, no fanfare, nothing. Just basically 4 different deviations of splats and bangs. There are 8 different game variations on the Human Cannonball cartridge. Plus, you can play each of those with 1 player or 2 players. In a 1-player game, like I said before, if you can get your man into the tank 7 times before you miss 7 times, you win. If you don't get him in, once you've missed the tank for the 7th time, you lose the game. In the 2-player game, there's no score for missing. Your opponent doesn't get a point or anything. It's just very simply the first one to get their man into the tank 7 times wins the game. Now, like I said before, there's 4 different factors that can affect how you choose to fire the cannon. The first and most primary one is the angle of the cannon. In most games, you can adjust the angle of the cannon, taking into consideration where the cannon is sitting on the field and the wind speed to try to get it into the tank. Now, there's also variations of the game where you can adjust where the cannon is on the field, so you can move the cannon back and forth and maybe the angle is fixed. And there's also a version where you can adjust the wind speed. I don't really know how that works, but you can adjust the wind speed and you have to adjust it according to the set angle that's set by the computer. Now, the last factor that you can adjust is a little different. You can actually move the water tank in about half the versions of this game. After you fire the man, and only after you fire the man, you can move the water tank left and right to try to readjust in case you made some mistakes in your initial calculations. The final little variation of this game is that half the games have a scrolling wall that's in between the cannon and the water tower. As the wall scrolls by, an opening pops up, so you have to create your trajectory to go into the tower, but you also have to time your shot to get through the hole to get there. And when you play with the scrolling wall, you can't move the water tower back and forth. It's really very challenging. Okay guys, let's try out Human Cannonball, see how we make out. Okay, I'm going to start out just by playing a simple game of 1-1. One player, game 1, and the variation is I just adjust the angle of my cannon, and I'm going to be able to move the water tower after I shoot. So here we go. Well, 36 miles an hour, I'm angled at 37. I'll put that up. Oh, by going diagonally, I can go 10 degrees at a time, or just 1 degree at a time. Push it straight. There we go. And I overshot by a lot there. So I could, oh, I forgot to move the tower afterwards. Okay, so there's one miss. Let's see, it was a little bit long, so I'll put it up a little bit more to get more of an arc. And move the tower. I'm going to be there. Perfect. We got one. Okay. Doesn't look like it changed the mile an hour very much, so I'm going to leave the angle right there. Maybe back a little bit. Here we go. And there's 2 in. So 2 in, 1 miss. All right, let's see. Mile an hour's, the wind's gone down quite a bit, so I'll put the angle down some. And here we go. Oh, wow. I could move the tower enough to get there to the water tank. I thought I was going to miss, but I got it. All right. 36 miles an hour. Gonna put it up a little bit. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to catch that one and right in. 4 on the good side, 1 on the bad. Let's see if I can get another one. 41 mile an hour winds. Gonna make that a little bit steeper. Yeah, just a little bit maybe. Well, I don't know. Oh, I went the wrong way for Pete's sake. Overshot it a ton. Oh, okay. So the wind's down a little bit. Put it down just a hair. No, up. That's it. Let's try it. And let's get there. Right in. 5 good. 2 bad. 2 more and I'm going to win. Not really that hard, to tell you the truth. Yep. Didn't change very much. Just move the tower underneath it. Here we go. What's the wind going to be this time? It was 35, 29. So a little bit less of an angle. There we go. All right. Here we go. Get that tank under it, and there it is, 7. Is there fanfare? What happens when you win? Nothing. Nothing at all. No music. No congratulations. Nothing. The screen just changes. Well, that game was pretty simple, so I'm going to try it once with the scrolling wall just to see how I make out. Alright, here we are, the one with the scrolling wall, game 5. 1 player, so I got to get the angle. Let's see, 28 mile an hour winds. I need it pretty high. Not too high, but higher than that. I got to hit that hole in the wall. Get it up there a ways, that's it. 49, even a little higher, I think. Okay. And it was nowhere near, and I shot it right into the wall. That wasn't very good. Alright, 1 miss. 36 mile an hour winds, probably about the same as the last game I played. So I was up at the 6. That's terrible. I don't think I'm anywhere near it. All right. Still 36. Gotta get a little. Ah, you can't. I couldn't hit that hole. All right. A little bit less wind, a little bit more angle. That should do it. Let's go right. Wait for it to come back again. Now, no. I thought it was going through. That's harder than it looks. All right, 31 mile an hour wind. Oh. 42 mile an hour wind. I gotta get way up high for this one. How am I gonna get through that hole? Time it right. Ah, shot it so hard that it hit it. I thought it was gonna scroll down through. I've missed 5 times. I gotta get at least one. 6 times. I've gotta get at least one in here. Alright. And I'm not gonna. That was terrible. Jeez, talk about a discrepancy in difficulty. The first one's crazy easy. You could make that every time with a little bit of practice. And the last one seemed to be so hard I couldn't even get it to go through the wall while it was scrolling by. I don't know. It's not very well balanced, but still kind of neat to look at the history of this game, this genre of games, really. So overall, what do I think of Human Cannonball? Well, I gotta say this right off the get-go. Human Cannonball is a ridiculously simple game. It's basically a mathematical equation that you have to figure out to determine what angle to shoot the guy at to get him to fall into the tank. And then in a lot of the games you can move the tank if you're wrong anyway. It's a variation that was done later on in games such as Artillery Duel or even the Worms series, only they added a lot more features to it and made it much, much better. Still, I don't think that this is like a reason that we had the video game crash of '83, because frankly it was a very early game for Atari, and as simple as it was just a starting point for that whole genre. After taking all of these things into consideration, Human Cannonball is a game that you will grow tired of very quickly. If you're looking for a game along this genre, something like Artillery Duel or Worms, there are much better options out there. Play the Worms games, they're a ton of fun, they have all kinds of features on them. Even the old Artillery Duel that was played on the C64, and I think on the Atari 2600, although I don't have that copy, give them a try. They gotta be better games than Human Cannonball. So overall, it's an early game, it's not a crash causer, but I'm only going to give Human Cannonball a poor rating. Well, that's it for my review of Human Cannonball today, guys. If you get a chance, check out the Facebook group Console Purist. It's a great Facebook group for anybody who loves console video games, whether it's the old games like this that I love the most, right up to the new console games of today. Console Purist. You'll be glad. 17,000 people in that group. You'll be glad that you joined. Anyway, thanks for spending a little bit of time with me today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
You're watching Papa Pete, the old guy gamer.
What the hell?